The Bachmann Class 37 has long been a favourite with diesel modelers. Combined with the popular Intercity Swallow livery and DCC sound, it makes a compelling combination. So let's take a closer look. Hi, welcome to today's review. We're going to split the review into 5 sections. First we're going to do an unboxing, then we'll take a closer look at the model, followed by a running session, then we'll do a summary of the capabilities of the model, and then finish off with some scoring at the end and a final recommendation. There's a separate running session without any commentary that covers the full speed range, so I'll include a link in the description if you want to check that out separately. Okay, let's get underway. Okay, let's get to the unboxing. So what we're looking at today is a Class 37 from Bachmann with sound fitted. It's the 32-392RJDS. Now this is an exclusive model, so it's only available from a certain number of retailers in the northern region. It's in the Intercity Swallow livery, which is a livery I actually quite like. And I think given that any Bachmann Class 37 usually has a pretty good running performance. So we're going to take a look at this guy. Let's take him out, and it's the standard packaging from Bachmann, so no difference there. And let's just open him out here and start getting a closer look. So you get the normal paperwork, and with this one you also get a guide for the DCC functions. So there we go. So it talks about the various functions. There's a summary of them there, so I'll give you an idea of what those are. There's a reasonable number. It's a typical sort of number of up to 15 different types of functions, so we'll get to see a few of those when we do the run out on the layout. I suppose the only difference and comment I'd make, and I've made this before, is that this isn't a lot of information if you wanted to go to another level of customization, so you're going to have to go and do a bit of digging on online to actually get the rundown on the CVs if you want to do some custom programming, because you're really not going to get that level of information in this particular document. It's kind of 4 pages, which is a little bit of a pity. I think a little bit more information would be no harm for people, and even some direct links in the documentation would be no harm as well if it is online, but you're kind of left to your own devices with it, and when you're paying anything up to £260 for a locomotive like this, I think that's it could be a little bit better. So that's just a gripe of mine. Okay, so let's take a look at the locomotive itself. So this guy is in this very nice Swallow livery, and there's a typical detailing kit there, and you've got the blanking plate for the pre-installed DCC. We've got some snow plows on there, some piping to add to the front and back, so that's good. And let's take a look at the locomotive itself. So this is a very attractive Class 37, that's for sure. So in the very nice livery, the Intercity Swallow livery, as we call it. So this looks really good. We'll be taking a slightly more close-up look of this afterwards, but straight away the kind of detailing on the body, the grills, the metal handrails there, the nice glazing and wipers, the aerials there on the front. It's got spring buffers, as you would expect from these. Some very, very nice paint job, so an exquisite rendering of the paint job. The detail, that orange, distinctive orange line across the top there and skirting underneath the windows. So this looks absolutely splendid. So we will take a slightly closer look in the next view of this locomotive, but straight off the back, this looks really good. We got the locomotive number there, 37685. So this is looking very good, very positive. We got some switches there to switch the lights on and off. We'll keep them all on, so that's what we're going with. So this straight away looks pretty good. We'll take a slightly closer look up in a minute. But the initial view from the unboxing is very positive. Okay, let's go to take a closer look and get up close, and we'll get a running session with this guy. Okay. Okay, now we're going to do a slow pan across the locomotive to just get a close-up look at some of the detail along the side of the body here. Those handrails I mentioned earlier, the really good paintwork, the venting at the side there, the nice logo, the whole detailing there around the fuel tanks, some really good. The bogies too, very well kind of drawn out there, very clear. Again, some nice venting here, and the overhead fan. All really looking very good, delivered in a top quality finish. And again, the front side of the logo, and again, just really lovely paint job and a very nice overall look. So really quite an exceptional looking locomotive. And we'll kind of take a little quick rotation here just to take a look around the locomotive. We'll do a full kind of 360 view of it here, give a better view of the actual roof detail and the front and rears of the locomotive. And again, really looking exceptional in this livery, and really a good, really top quality finish overall. And you can see the very nice detailing there, and again the white paint marked out on the bogies there, looking really good. So I think overall this is really impressive. Looking forward to seeing this now on the layout. Let's get to that running session now. Okay. Okay, we're all set to go. We've already started the locomotive. We got the lights on, so we're ready to get underway. And I think, as with any of the previous Class 37s from Bachmann, the low speed performance on this is really good. The crawl at 2, 3, 4 miles an hour is flawless. So this is regularly a 5-star rating from a performance perspective, and already this is well underway to getting to that. We're running today with a rake of Bachmann Mark IIF coaches. These are the DCC controlled coaches with the lighting. So we've got all the lights on those, and we're just wrapping it up at the very end there with a Mark I Bachmann coach full brake, just to kind of give a little bit of variety. But quite a compelling combination when you add those coaches to this particular locomotive. It really looks really good. So again, the ultra smooth performance. These coaches are very good as well. So in fairness, those Mark II F coaches from Bachmann actually are really good smooth performance as well. Very smooth runners. So this is a really very good combination that we've got here. So we'll run it through the speed grades pretty quickly. As I said, I do have a separate full running session which kind of goes through individual different speed levels. So if you want to get a longer look at this without the commentary, you can take a look at that. This one we're going to speed it up pretty quickly to kind of put it through its paces, as you can see. So we'll start racking up the speed. But really at every speed level this was ultra smooth, really smooth under DC operation as well. So if you want to run it in that mode, it is really smooth as well. These locomotives are fantastic on DC. Absolutely no running problems throughout the whole session. Flawless performance over all my points, both my Hornby and my Pico points. So really good. And I did a bit of cleaning on my track, but this you wouldn't notice with this running session because the performance is really good, even over a little bit of dirty track. So just racking up the speed a little bit more. And again, ultra smooth, which is in keeping with, I suppose, what you'd expect these days from a Bachmann Class 37. I have to say, I was really taken with this. This locomotive combined with the coaches gives a really fantastic combination. Very enjoyable running session. The sounds are pretty good. They're pretty well per the standard Class 37 you'd see from Bachmann. I haven't done any customization here, so you can get at speaker obviously and do enhancements there, or get new sound files as well. But I haven't gone down that road here. This is the out of the box standard off-the-shelf unit. And again, at speed, no problems. I think this thing easily could pull a rake twice this length. There just seems to be so much power there. And there she goes through, and we're going through for the last time now. It's very good lighting as well on this. I've left the cab lights on just for effect, but you wouldn't normally might do that during a running session. And we'll just bring her back into the station. We'll slow her down, get her back down to a crawl again. Really ultra smooth. I mean, this is really, really, really good. Top-notch performance. And just get her down as slow as I possibly can. And not a glimmer out of this motor. Really good. There we go. Bring her to a halt. So, I think by any standards I'm going to rate this at top marks in terms of the running session. Really looking good and performing really good as well. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and let's get on to the next part of the review. So now we come to the summary section. So we've been reviewing the Bachmann 32-392RJDS. This is a Class 37 diesel, locomotive number 37685 in the Intercity Swallow livery. It comes with factory fitted 21-pin DCC sound, and it has both directional lighting and cab lighting. There is a driver pre-fitted, and it also comes with a detailing kit. The unboxed weight is 545 grams, and the retail selling price varies between 220 and 265 sterling. That's as of February 2020. You'll do well to get at the 220 price range, and I think it's pretty good value at that range, but it's getting a lot more difficult, so you'll tend to see it at the upper end of that range, the 260, 265 level, unfortunately. And it has only been available from a limited number of channels as well, because this was a restricted model in terms of distribution, so that's going to make it even a little bit harder to find if you are looking for it, unfortunately. So next we're going to look at the scorecard. So the performance for this locomotive, it's a 5-star, and I think you've seen that in the running session and in the previous runs I was doing with this, just to test it out on DC, and also test it over some of the points and other obstacles on the layout. Again, performed flawlessly. So I actually found this better than some of even some of the Bachmann 37s I would have looked at a couple of years ago. This one is really good. I think the appearance may be a little bit subjective, but I'm giving it a 5-star here. I think this is really good. Excellent paintwork, very good detail, and really, really looks good. The sound is pretty typical for a Class 37 Bachmann, which I'm giving it a 4.5 star, which is the typical score I give. There can be improvements. I think the number of sounds is a little bit limited, and I think if you were prepared to go out there, swap out the speaker and get some extra sound files, you can get that up to a 5. Extra features are pretty good, including the detailing kit and the pre-installed driver. Packaging and documentation is pretty good, just with that little caveat comment I made regarding the DCC information, which is just a little bit sparse. Overall, however, this is a 5-star locomotive, highly recommended. It's really top-notch. Another triumph for Bachmann, there's no doubt about it, in terms of the Class 37s. Coming in a particularly nice livery, and really a top-notch locomotive. And if you're interested in this livery and then I think this is highly recommended. You won't be disappointed, and obviously if you've got some good coaches to go with it, it makes it all the better. So I hope you enjoyed today's review. I hope it was useful for you, and if you are interested in this locomotive, I hope you can find one, because they are getting a little bit harder to track down. I've quite a few reviews backed up over the next couple of weeks, so hopefully to see you on one of those reviews again. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, then please subscribe now and get notifications for future reviews. And thanks for watching today, and in the meantime, until the next review, happy modelling.